Character development is an essential part to a good story. Only the best of the best, the top shelf stories have extremely well written characters. Today, I'll be talking about some of the greatest character development I've seen in my life. Ultimately, I'm gonna talk about the best written character in existence. You know I gotta start off with the king himself. He's not actually a king, Prince Vegeta. The first time we actually see Vegeta is in the Saiyan saga. He was an evil, prideful, selfish prince, and he was so cool. We didn't really know much about him. All we knew was that he was strong and he didn't mind cutting off his BFFs. But after losing to Goku, a 5-year-old, and an obese samurai, his ego definitely took a hit. An experience like that will humble you. Humble you so much that in the next arc, the Frieza saga, Vegeta was actually working with our heroes. Do not get it twisted though, he was still doing ungodly things on Namek. He killed soldiers, massacred Namekians, killed Kui. Actually, that's not that bad. Eventually, Vegeta and our heroes fight Frieza. And if y'all thought Earth was humbling for Vegeta, man, Vegeta got... Vegeta eventually dies on Namek and comes back, and the next time we see him is in the Cell saga. And this saga was a big deal for Vegeta. He got stronger, him and Bulma were officially a thing, and he met his son twice. And although he was a terrible father to him, Vegeta really loved him. But after Cell is defeated and Goku is dead, Vegeta decides he will fight no more. After 7 years of no Goku and peace on Earth, things are gonna change a bit. And as y'all can see, Vegeta is conforming to human life. He's pretty much an Earthling now. I mean, what could go wrong? Majin Vegeta is a representation of Vegeta's past. He doesn't care about anything except fighting Goku. Because no matter how much time passes, that first fight he lost on Earth still stuck with him. And although Vegeta was back on his evil stuff, he had changed too much already. He was a family man, a family guy. And in a final attempt to stop Majin Buu, he gives his son a hug and sacrifices himself for humans, Earthlings. The same people he did not care about a few years ago. That, ladies and gentlemen, is character development. I'm not even gonna mention the fact that he admitted that Goku was better than him. That is truly art. Then Dragon Ball Super came out. Vegeta went from bad to good. But what about someone who went from good to a monster?
My name is Walter Hartwell White.
I love this man, but I also hate him. Walter White has one of the craziest character arcs in history. His transformation is night and day. And it was a gradual growth too. That's what I love about it so much. First half of season 1, chemistry teacher Walter. He was a weak man. He worked 2 jobs and he never stood up for himself. Boom, he's diagnosed with cancer. So he decides, hey, if I'm gonna die, I might as well make some money while I'm at it. He starts cooking meth. Maybe killed some people along the way, but it's no biggie. Boom, Heisenberg is born. Season 2, Walter and Jessie are officially in the game now. Everything's looking good. They get into that money, get into that dough. But Zuko not acting too nice, so now we gotta kill him. Walter and Jessie officially start running things by themselves, getting that money, getting that dough. Trouble in paradise. Walter's wife, Skylar, is a little suspicious of his actions, which eventually leads her to cheating on him. How does that even make sense? But we got some good news. Walter's cancer is getting better. But wait. Walter is not too happy about that. You see, it wasn't according to plan. He was supposed to sell drugs and then just die. Now that the cancer is getting better, it brings up the question, why would he need to keep selling drugs? Is it for him or is it for his family? So now things are a little complicated. We meet Jesse's girlfriend, Jane. She'll be important later. Walter meets Gustavo. Just imagine Colonel Sanders, but instead of selling chicken and fries, he sells chicken and methamphetamines. And Walter wants to work with him to make some more of that guap. You know what I mean? Sadly to no avail. But good news, Walter eventually gets an opportunity to work with Gustavo because I guess he wanted a piece of that blue crystal. But then Walter is put in a bit of a pickle. You see, he only has 1 hour to deliver the product. But at the same time, his daughter's about to be born. Now Walter, I know it's a lot of money. Walter eventually goes to see Jessie because they've been having a rocky relationship this season and he just wants to talk to him. But what he doesn't know is that Jane and Jessie right now are high. They were using the needle. And when Walter walks in there, pause the music real quick. This is messed up. Walter officially becomes a bad person here. And not like a bad person like, oh, he's so bad that he's cool. No, he's not cool at all. This is vile. So when Walter gets in there, he sees Jessie and Jane knocked out pretty much because they're so hot. And boom, out of nowhere, Jane starts choking on her own vomit because she overdosed. And when I was first watching this, I was like, Walter, help her, that's Jessie's girl, help her. Walter just sits there and watches her die. I can't even put into words how messed up this is. This dude had the audacity to cry after too, like he was watching like the freaking intro of Up or something. And the only reason he did this is because he thought Jane wasn't good for Jesse. But instead of putting his hand on Jesse's shoulder and saying, hey, Jesse, maybe you shouldn't be with her. No, he'd rather just let his girlfriend die. To me, this is when Walter became irredeemable. He could feed the homeless, donate millions, give me a lifetime supply of Chick-fil-A. Almost nothing will get me to forgive this man. Now, if he threw in some of that blue crystal. And to make things worse, if you look at it, Walter low-key, high-key killed her. And not because he let her die, but he literally was the reason she got moved on her back. It's just sad, man. You know? Season 3, baby, back to making that money. Walter finally tells Skylar that he's dealing drugs, which honestly didn't go so well. We meet Jesse's new girlfriend, and she has a kid. He'll be important later. Walter's brother-in-law Hank starts tracking down this man called Heisenberg. You know who he's talking about. Like I said earlier, Walter is officially working for Gustavo. But Gustavo doesn't like how uncontrollable Walter is. So he thinks the only way to deal with him is to get him deleted. Walter kills more people, and to deal with the Gustavo issue, he sends Jesse to go kill their other cook. Boom, season 4. Now that Jesse murdered an innocent man, Gustavo should have no reason to want to kill Walter anymore. I lied. Gustavo plans on making Jesse his new cook and getting rid of Walter. And Walter's counterplay to this is literally to poison a kid. Yup. And not just any kid, but Jesse's girlfriend's son. Yep, yeah, I know, messed up, right? But it gets worse. Jesse eventually goes to Walter's house to end his life. But then Walter, you can hate him, but he's a genius. Walter pretty much convinces Jesse that Gus poisoned the kid, but blamed it on Walt in order to get Jesse to kill him. But in reality, Walter was the one who poisoned the kid, and he's manipulating Jesse to think Gus manipulated him into killing Walter. You know what I mean? Season 4 ends with Walter killing Gus by bombing a nursing home, and I imagine his ego is through the roof after he manipulated Jesse that crazy and just killed his boss. And I'm stopping on season 4 because I haven't watched season 5. I actually spoiled myself while doing research for this video, so please, no spoilers. But I imagine it can't get any worse than what Walter did in season 2, 3, and 4. At least I hope. Finally, ladies and gentlemen, you know I had to save the best for last. The best and my personal favorite character arc ever is Zuko's redemption in Avatar: The Last Airbender. This arc is beautiful. When we first meet Zuko, he was an evil prince just like Vegeta was. And just like Vegeta, he was also the antagonist. He had the insane scar. He shot fire from his hands. And most importantly, look at the cut. You gotta be some sort of evil to do that to yourself. In the first part of the show, Zuko's whole objective was just to capture Aang. He was obsessed with it. Thought about it while he was eating, sleeping, and probably even when he was drinking. And at first, we didn't know why he wanted to capture Aang so badly. But eventually, it's revealed to us that Zuko, he didn't have the best upbringing. He was raised in the Fire Nation, and his dad happens to be the Fire Lord. And one day during a meeting, Zuko spoke out of turn. And while most parents would yell at their kid, put them on timeout, maybe even pull out the belt, nah, Fire Lord Ozai challenged his son to a Agni Kai, which in real life terms is trying to throw ones with your kid. Mind you, Zuko was like 13 years old. He wasn't like Azula who was crazy off the rip. He was a very peaceful, nice, calm kid. But Fire Lord Ozai does not play. He's voiced by the Joker. So he burned Zuko and told him the only way he could come back and restore his honor is if he captures the Avatar, which explains his obsession, because he goes pretty much the entirety of book 1 just chasing after Aang, and even at the end of book 1 he almost froze to death just trying to kidnap him. But in book 2, things are a little different. We start seeing some change in Zuko's character. This is what I call his short hair era. So after him and Uncle Iroh are pretty much banished from the Fire Nation, they're forced to hide and pretty much live amongst the Earth Kingdom people, who by the way are the same people that the Fire Nation had been tormenting for years. And this experience changed Zuko's perspective. What he once saw as the great nation who was being generous to the rest of the world was really just an oppressor. Was chasing the Avatar really worth it? Episodes like the Blue Spirit, Zuko alone, and Bitter Work really shows that Zuko could be a good person. And eventually when they arrive at the great city of Ba Sing Se, we see that Zuko and Iroh are pretty much regular civilians now. Even in the episode Tales of Ba Sing Se, we see that him and Uncle Iroh have a tea shop, and Zuko almost got a girlfriend. At this point, Zuko and Iroh have a peaceful life in Ba Sing Se. Everything's going good until You see, when Azula shows up, Zuko is given a choice. Give up on everything he sought after, his father's love, his honor, or give up the peaceful life he had with Uncle Iroh. And this decision is so frustrating to watch. And Zuko sadly chose his honor, betraying Uncle Iroh, joining his sister, and practically killing the Avatar. All that character development he did in book 2, out the window. It's like it never happened. But in book 3, that's when we see the guilt that Zuko truly feels after making that terrible decision. Shaggy Zuko. So now Zuko has everything he could have ever wanted. He's a prince, his dad respects him, he has all the honor back, but for some reason, he still wasn't satisfied. And this frustration is showed to us in the beach episode, which in my opinion is the best episode of Avatar ever. All of Zuko's frustration is brought to a boil with this episode. And when him, Azula, Mai, and Ty Lee are all on the beach, Zuko finally admits that he's not happy with the decision he made. And this all eventually leads to him realizing what his purpose is. He has to join the Avatar and help Aang defeat his father. And it all worked out in the end. He joined the Avatar gang. He made up with Uncle Iroh. He beat Azula and he became the Fire Lord. Round of applause. Come on. Y'all can't tell me that wasn't beautiful. As y'all can see though, whether it's going from an evil prince to a family person, from a chemistry teacher to a meth kingpin, or from an evil prince again to a good person, character development is necessary in a story. It's what completes it. It makes it beautiful. No character development is like a pizza with no cheese. If you don't have the cheese, then how can you say you're complete? And moral of the story, thank you so much for 100,000 subscribers. I cannot express to you guys how much this means to me. I'm grateful, I'm thankful, I'm appreciative. Just know I'm not gonna cry. I'll be honest, I don't know what to say. I don't know. I'm happy. I love you guys. Anything you guys want to do, you can do it. Just know that unless it's crimes against humanity, please don't do anything criminal. Thank you for 100,000 and thank you for watching.